Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Department Podcast, a special little wrestling recap version where all three of us here are going to break down, review, and give our honest takes on Survivor Series 2020. I'm Stephen Clark with Justin Valentovic and Jesse Norman. But before we get into this pay-per-view that was not good, to say the least, fellas, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good. First day back at work, a little windy today, a little bit, I was tired. Mondays always suck. Yeah. But we're here to talk about a pay-per-view. That wasn't that great. So Monday will suck even just a little bit more.
Must be Monday.
I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah. Norms, you good?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
But yeah, little teaser. All three of us were not a fan of this pay-per-view. It did not live up to the expectations at all. Like when we were reading the card, like predicting and stuff, we were like, okay, it could be decent or something, but literally nothing from this card.
Yeah, it had potential and it didn't live up to said potential.
Yeah.
So it was a dud, honestly. And just because, nothing really changed hands, obviously, because of how the show was constructed. No storylines were progressed. The Fiend, which we expected, he had two opportunities to pop out. He didn't. And it's just nothing came out of this pay-per-view it was worth doing, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Word for word. I couldn't have said it any better myself. But let's start on the main card. We don't care about the kickoff. Miz won the Battle Royal there. Who cares? Nothing to break down there.
Why did Miz also need to win the Battle Royal when he already has Money in the Bank?
He's the face. He's the face of USA. That's why. He's the face of USA. God. Miz and Mrs. That's better than this pay-per-view. All right, let's start with the first match. Weird way to start the show. I never really, like the last couple years at least, men's 5-on-5 never really opened the show, but this is how they started it this year, because I guess the whole Undertaker final farewell nonsense. So the 5-on-5 match, Team Raw won by a clean sweep. And it just kind of buried SmackDown in a way. Like, I know we could talk about Rollins a little bit and how he kind of gave himself up. I didn't understand that. I don't know if you guys understood that as well.
Didn't understand it, but even at that point, it's still 4-on-5. You should be able to get an elimination. Just one. Like
one.
Sheamus didn't get eliminated. Come on. Once it went down to just Jey Uso, I thought for sure, I was like, okay, he'll probably knock out one of them and he'll probably get a count out on another.
Like he'll make a little bit of a run.
Nope.
He'll make it interesting.
Mm-hmm. His little bit of a run was like 3 super kicks. And then that was it.
It just made SmackDown look stupid in a way. Like it was just like stupid writing. Like even when like Owens got eliminated, he hit 3 stunners on all people who weren't legal in the ring, and then all of a sudden he gets like a phenomenal forearm to the face or something, and he's out. Like,
and the problem
he's
is
done.
Too,
he's out.
Like they built it to where Team Raw was meant to implode and be a catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
And by no one getting eliminated, it's like, what's the point then? Because like they even had Riddle come out, and interrupt AJ's like music and entrance at that point. So it's like, oh, it's already starting. So this is going to be the downfall of it. And you would have thought, maybe bickering would have cost maybe AJ to get eliminated. And then they could have went off and done something else, after this, but just nothing happened. And they had no options after that.
Literally no count out eliminations either. Nothing.
Graves was saying on commentary, like putting AJ over as being the captain, but that was the only thing that I got from. Then Braun was yelling at everybody to work together and this made no sense, by the way. Braun tagged in, jumped down off the apron, did his runaround thing, got back in the ring, and tagged out. Why did he tag in?
He didn't have to tag in, exactly.
Nope.
He didn't have to tag in to jump down off the apron.
Not good.
Did not do a move in the ring.
No. The best part about all of this, which I'm glad there's a takeaway from this, is that Keith Lee got a new theme song. And it's back to his
That's the
voice.
highlight of the whole show. if we're being honest. Other than the Undertaker, like
Randy, no.
We'll talk about Roman and Drew. Yeah,
I'm kidding, but
yeah,
But it was
It's
the highlight of.
It's the second most highlight.
Honestly, couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Because his
that's
theme song
fair.
is really, really good now. It's very similar to his original
It
one.
says Keith Lee a lot.
That's his name.
No, I know, but it just says Keith Lee a lot.
He wants people to remember his name. That's good.
But this match was just, it did nothing for me.
Like I was talking about on the predictions one too, like how we have those face-offs that we're excited to see. Like when it was Rude and Triple H, or it's like AJ and like Cena or something. I don't know if that was a face-off, like something like, or Kurt Angle and Cena it was again or something. But like the big face-off that was the big draw was like Otis and Keith Lee. And I'm just like,
Two
I don't
beefy
want to
boys.
see this. Yeah, that's beefy boys, all right, but it's not the star power there for me. It's just
It was just a weak match,
click.
and
It didn't click.
Well, and there were stars on Raw, and there were some on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Mainly Seth, and then they did the whole Seth.
It makes no sense.
It wasn't good.
It makes no
It
sense.
wasn't good. The Seth character, like, I'm sorry, they've taken the Seth character that was interesting and cool, and they've just made it dumb now.
Yeah,
It's not good. Everything he does doesn't make sense anymore.
Whenever he goes on babycation and just
Like-
goes away, just let him come back as, Beast Slayer, King Slayer, whatever Slayer you want to put him in, and let's just move on from the Monday Night Messiah or Friday Night Messiah at this point. Let's just move on from there.
The Monday Night Messiah was good, but then the only person he ever feuded with the gimmick was Rey Mysterio.
And Dominic.
They missed a huge opportunity when they never did the Monday Night Messiah versus McIntyre or versus Orton or anything. They just stuck him with Rey the whole time. The whole gimmick was just Rey.
Yeah.
This was a bad match. I'm tired of talking about it.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Let's move on.
We move
from
on,
this and
yeah.
Go to a little something on a lighter note, which was pretty good. My prediction for match of the night, which it could be in some people's eyes, but it was still a good overall match. The Street Profits defeated the New Day, who came out in their Gears of War attires. So that was cool. It was a good match. It's what I expected. Two of the top tag teams in the world, honestly. It was fun. I'm glad the Profits got the win too, because the New Day's been around for 6 years now, and it's nice to see this new young tag team beat one of the best tag teams that's ever been in WWE. So I'm happy that the Profits won.
I disagree. I think the New Day should have won because all of the points that the Street Profits kept saying of they were a 3-man team. You can't get it done without Big E. You were a 3-man team. You were a 3-man team. And then the New Day lost their first match that they weren't a 3-man team.
So it kind of proves the point that they need Big E.
So,
good. Put them back over to Raw then.
Well, yeah. I kind of like I would have liked for the New Day to win, but also like I didn't like the way these teams worked together just because their offenses are similar. So what they did was they made New Day switch their offense because they wanted to get the Street Profits over.
Yeah,
so the New Day,
very healing.
Kofi, they were just beating them down. Like, when has Kofi ever just been like doing like arm drags and just beating down people? Like it doesn't make sense. Xavier and Kofi were the smaller team, but they were doing like the beat down stuff. I didn't like the chemistry of this match because instead of them letting just both teams do what they normally do, they definitely were like, Street Profits have to win, Street Profits have to go over, build to the Street Profits comeback. And like New Day is not a heel tag team. They don't like when Corey Graves is backing them in the match, it's like, oh, they're clearly working heel tonight.
Yeah, and Corey's on SmackDown too, so that makes no sense whatsoever for him to back
exactly.
the New Day. Yeah.
And Corey was literally like, this is the best I've seen the New Day in so long. Or this is the most aggressive I've seen them, and they look fantastic. Like
yeah, this whole show was a little confused of what
it was
to
very
do.
confusing because there was no build. The thing is, there was no build
for none of these matches. Neither team had any interaction. There was no point other than the WWE officials saying you two are fighting each other. There was nothing to get behind.
There was only the Big E stuff that the Street Profits
and the
did.
one show we got
was Big E telling them like you're gonna lose.
The only thing that connected these two teams is that they swapped belts.
Yeah,
that was it.
And
Yes.
the only match that
Yes.
had the most build, like between brand to brand, was the best match on the show, which makes sense because
Yep.
when you build to a match and there's stories involved in it and you're behind the characters of these people, it's a good match. And especially when it's two of the top talents in the company right now. But we'll get to that later in the show. Profits defeat New Day, sum that one up, whatever. Another whatever, a big whatever, Lashley.
Oh yeah, this wasn't.
This was
good.
stupid.
This was my low point of the night right here.
This was the worst. There might have been a worse match.
No,
there might have been a worse ending to a match though.
A genius ending to a match you're thinking about, but this was bad. They brought up the Sami Zayn had vertigo again, which was like 2 years ago, and it was just
stupid. It really was. Like
then this is like the first match I've seen after like the Colts beat the Packers, and I'm just like
emotionally drained.
I'm just like, I don't care about this.
But it's like even if the Colts, didn't have an overtime thriller of a victory that got my heart pumping a little bit, it's just the matchup just isn't appealing, and it's like any common sense human being knows Zayn doesn't have a chance in hell in winning at all. So it's like, why is this even on, and why is it going 5 minutes longer than it should when it should have just been, Bobby Lashley gets him in the Lashley lock, whatever, the hurt lock or whatever, and call it a day, and that's it. But
Ricochet should have won. Ricochet should have beat Lashley for the title or something on Raw.
Match.
Ricochet, Sami Zayn.
What's up? They don't care about Ricochet.
And they put themselves into the same.
He's on kickoff.
And they put themselves in the same scenario as Drew Roman, where it's like they're trying to build Roman as a monster heel, like they're trying to build Bobby Lashley as like a monster mid card champion. So it's like, why are you gonna have him lose to scrawny little Sami Zayn?
Makes no sense.
It went too long.
That too.
It was.
I feel like every match
went too long.
Every segment.
It wasn't good.
Even the Undertaker segment. I love the Undertaker, but even that went too long.
That was like 45 minutes.
It was too long and too
every
short
match went long
time.
except for the men's elimination match, which was a waste of time and would have just benefited from going like 10 more minutes and having a little bit different of a ending.
Yeah, definitely. But we're flying through this, thank God. Lashley won. Beat Sami Zayn. Cool, whatever. On to the next one. Sasha Banks defeats Asuka. We've seen this match all summer long. They're two great talents, but it's just we've seen it before, time and time again, and it was fine. It was fine.
No, it was a good match. Like this is one of the appealing matches.
Like,
okay, this is going to be a good match. Fine, and we got a good match. Cool.
We got what we expected. Banks won, which I'm very happy about. I didn't expect it, but Banks won. I crapped the bet in the predictions. You guys did pretty decent, I think.
I think I went undefeated. If I'm being honest, Raw, yes. Profits,
I think
yes.
I might
Lashley,
have also.
yes.
Yeah, because I picked like the complete opposite.
Wait, Jess,
I think I said New Day.
Yeah, you said New Day. Did you take Asuka or Banks?
Instead of Profits. I think I took Banks.
I took Banks. I took
because you two took Banks. I took
the
Asuka.
Raw team. Yeah, I went perfect. Boy, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that on the NFL podcast?
Or why can't you do that on FanDuel or something too?
Yeah.
Be a rich man right now. But anyways, Banks defeats Asuka. Like you guys said, good match. We've seen this all summer. Sasha's fantastic. Asuka's fantastic. And Sasha
also, Corey Graves crapped on Sasha the whole match.
As usual.
He was SmackDown.
We didn't even talk about that yet because we talked about this right before we started. They did not keep track of SmackDown versus Raw the entire night. Like last year, there was the NXT Raw SmackDown scoreboard. Like, NXT won here, blah blah blah. Like usual. Like, but
it makes sense to keep tally.
Yeah, but this year, no, there wasn't.
This year,
because they didn't care.
Because SmackDown won technically, because SmackDown won.
Yeah, probably. Even though that should be their main priority to have SmackDown win and showcase SmackDown winning because it is on Fox.
Also make Fox happy and they can give them more Fox money. But that's here nor there. But it's just like, why bother? Like the whole thing is like this honestly it feels like EA like produced this pay-per-view where it was just so stripped down and just like you know what you're getting, you got it, and you're just disappointed. Like every year, for Madden, it's like you look forward to a game like, oh, it's gonna be good, it has potential, and then you open the game 2 weeks later, it's crap. That's what happened with this pay-per-view. It was
the same
game,
the same thing.
And it's like everything you thought, all the features you like, and the little cool details here and there that are awesome are gone.
gone.
That's what happened.
Breaking
Score
out of the
cracking.
huddle, gone. Keeping score, gone. But wow. It's whatever. Let's keep. We're chugging through. Let's keep moving on.
This might be our shortest podcast ever at this.
That's fine because this pay-per-view doesn't deserve a long podcast.
I'm being honest. I have no interest in this. That's why.
It doesn't deserve a long podcast. There's not much to harp upon. Like we could praise the good stuff, and of course, like
we'll get to
criticize the bad stuff. But
we haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. Is the problem?
We haven't, and we're not there yet. Again, because it's the Raw versus SmackDown women's elimination match, and Raw won. I'll just get right to it, right to the point of what happened. Lana was the sole survivor because of the double count out between Nia Jax and Bianca Belair. Lana was forced to stand on the steps, which I thought was honestly
Nia
funny.
was bullied to be the sole survivor. Is basically the story of this match.
Yeah. Lana was.
Yeah, Lana was.
Oh, they said Nia.
No, Lana.
Lana. Yeah, she was bullied basically. Like I said, I've called this for months now. I've seen this coming just because of how they treated Lana the last 2 months or so by putting her through a table every single
yeah,
week,
you knew. Well, they even counted it. It was like 9 times she got put through a table. So it was like, okay, she's obviously gonna win to some capacity. How? Don't know, but she's gonna be the sole survivor, and she's gonna do nothing to get it.
Good for her.
No, honestly, yeah, it's great for her. It's on her resume, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, no one's gonna go back and rewatch this pay-per-view. So at that point, when you see Lana sole survivor, like, oh, that's awesome.
I think that was cool booking, just because it kind of showed that the bully doesn't win in one situation, which was cool. I don't like this booking because the story continues.
Wasn't Nia was bullied by Alexa? So why is she?
Nia also beat bullying. That's the thing.
I don't know, but that's the one good takeaway from this is that bullies don't win in a way. So good for that. If you have a bully, just stand on the steps and ignore them.
Did win, but Nia still kind of won.
Sort of.
She was on the winning team.
So if you're a bully, you win no matter what. There you go.
Win no matter what.
Thanks, Bruce Pritchard.
Another thing didn't make any sense. When Lana tagged in and did her, 2-3 moves that she did, and then everybody was yelling at her to get out.
Yeah.
She stuck out her hand to get tagged in, and nobody wanted to tag in, but they all wanted her to get out.
They want her to count herself
out. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
That's on the females at that point. They were just trance, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. Story this pay-per-view. No one knew really what was going on.
No one knew what was going on. It was all focused on the Undertaker, basically.
I still think this was a huge missed opportunity where you had Bianca Belair. She is quite literally the only prospect you have right now. Literally the only one. Since Becky and Charlotte have left, the only female that they've built up is Asuka, Sasha, Bayley. 2 out of those 3 are the other 2 of the 4 horsewomen. Why would you not build somebody in this woman's match? That's my problem with the Lana win. Is yes, Bianca is protected, but she doesn't gain anything from this. They have literally had a division without Charlotte, without Becky Lynch for months, and they have not made a single new star. Not one.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that point too, that I would have loved her to be the sole survivor too, but she is protected. That's the one good takeaway from this, is that she didn't get pinned. She didn't tap out. There were numerous times where she could have tapped out with Shayna Baszler's lock, and she stood up and had Shayna on her back.
Yes.
So they did protect her, which is good, but I also, being a fan and not trying to read it, I would have liked her to be the sole survivor personally, yes. But from the business standpoint, not business, but like the stupid writing standpoint, I figured that it was gonna be Lana. But it's stupid. It's from a fan standpoint, it's stupid, but good for Lana, I guess. I know there's a new documentary about Lana that's coming out too, and she talks about how she's bullied online and stuff, and everything. People telling her to quit and kill herself and all that stuff. So I don't know. Make her feel good. Good for her to get the win. But another cool point in the match was Peyton Royce eliminated Bayley. I thought that was fun. They're not going to do anything with this.
Nope, not at all.
Not a thing.
Nope. I wish they would.
Bailey was the first one eliminated too, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I see that doesn't hurt Bailey though. If anything, that helps.
Oh no, that's fine. That's
yeah. I thought that was just cool. I hope they do something with this, but will they?
No. You would hope, but
instead of go right in the back mirror for all the writers again. They're instead of forget about Peyton. She'll be sitting in catering. But and also like we brought this up on another podcast too. If Billy Kay was on Team SmackDown instead of like Natalia or something.
Of a match.
Yeah, just because you have like the Iconics going against each other and all that, but.
Why didn't you have her in instead of Natalia? Natalia didn't do anything.
Natalia didn't. No, nope. That would have been.
Well, okay. Natalia made Peyton Royce tap out, didn't she? Ooh. Why didn't you give that to somebody else? Like Natalia?
Like
Bianca could have done that. Liv Morgan, Ruby.
Anyone.
Literally any of the other ones. Literally any of the other ones.
Wow. We're at the last match.
Oh, baby.
Two more things to talk about, though. This and then the Geezer Fest at the end of the show. I'm surprised all of them weren't asleep, but let's get to the last match, which is Roman Reigns defeating Drew McIntyre. And we were talking during this match, a lot of us in the group chat, and the match did start off slow. And I kind of expected this just because the two guys are very similar builds and similar styles, and they kind of wrestle very like the same pace in the match too. But man, did this match picked up. It picked up a lot towards the last like quarter of the match at least. They went all out, these two, and they kind of saved the show from being absolutely like bad. Like they at least had a high point in the show, which was this match. And it's Roman Reigns. What do you say? We said this week in, week out, Roman Reigns is the guy. He's the man. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, same thing. Started slow. Started real slow for the first like 5 minutes, but it got really good at the end.
Yeah,
I like the Jey Uso thing. I like how Roman, like the whole time he's kind of scared, and it's like, is Roman gonna beat the crap out of me?
Yeah.
So that was good. I think both Drew and Roman looked really good here.
Yeah, no, they looked great. And that was hinted at earlier in the night, too, because Jey Uso couldn't get the job done for SmackDown, which is impossible to overcome.
1-on-5.
And Roman was just like, like almost like ready to
go away.
Yeah, literally, like go away and beat the hell out of him, basically. But no, it was great.
Thank God, though, the match picked up, because if it didn't, this whole show would have been a train wreck then.
Exactly. And
it also This was the one match that saved
match of the night by far. It protected Drew too. Drew didn't tap out or get pinned. He passed out. You can't help passing out. So it protected Drew, made Roman look fantastic. I expected to see more Samoans on the top of the stage when he won, but no Rikishi, no one else. Rikishi was there.
Rikishi was there.
They were saving him. They were saving him.
Oh, they were saving him. All right. But that was cool. Roman won. We like Roman. Cool.
And other than Uso, no Fiend in sight at all.
No Fiend in sight for the second or third pay-per-view in a row.
See, I'm okay with that still, just because he doesn't.
But my thing is, the time each pay-per-view goes by, it's like, are they ever going to do anything with him then at that point?
The Hell in a Cell quite literally used his laugh as
for the
background for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't there. I wouldn't mind him not being on every show or being on every pay-per-view.
Yes.
But now it's not like that they couldn't use him. There were multiple times they could have used him. There were multiple things they could have done. It's just like they're not. They're just not using him.
Yeah,
I think a Fiend appearance helps this show a lot. Even if it's just he comes out at the end and lays waste to all of Team Raw. Whatever. Do something. He could do something.
Alexa could have popped up too.
There's nothing.
If you have Fiend wipe out the rest of Team Raw or whatever, then have Alexa just beat the crap out of Lana at the end there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, do that. Like, at least have them on the pay-per-view. They don't need to have a match or whatever. But, like,
yeah,
why are they only a Monday Night Raw thing now? Especially
Literally.
when they're one of the best things on TV.
Use them
When
across
like
all the shows.
I want my money to see them. Like I'm paying $9.99 a month to get the pay-per-view. I want the best things in WWE on that pay-per-view.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And it would surprise me if he's not on the next pay-per-view because it's TLC. And I don't feel like he would be. He's not in a tables match.
There's no feud right now for him too. He's just in
There's
the main
no
event picture.
exactly.
There's like no
Exactly.
feud. Yeah.
Oh God, are they gonna do Drew Randy TLC?
Probably. And they're probably, like I said, they're gonna do Lana versus Nia in an announce table match. Get ready for that one. Got to put your opponent through the announce table to win.
Oh boy,
it's gonna happen, and we're gonna be talking about it in about a month or so. So be prepared.
Oh, are we?
Yep.
So, all right, let's get to the final farewell that was too long and too short at the exact same time. Let's get to the part that was too long. And that was announcing all these old
Legends
geezers.
entrances.
Oh, yes. All the old geezers coming back.
Oh, my God.
Like, yeah, I'm going to have the list right now. Shane McMahon, Big Show, JBL, Jeff Hardy, Mick Foley, The Godfather, The Godwin, Savio Vega, Rikishi, Kevin Nash, Ric Flair, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Kane.
The only important ones that needed an entrance. Everyone could have popped out in the ring and
they could have been there already. Yes.
The only ones that needed an entrance, Flair, Michaels, Kane, and Triple H.
Perfect. Literally perfect.
I would have given Hardy one as well because Hardy's paint looked awesome.
It did look pretty cool with the Taker T on it and all that.
It looked pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But
but like the thing that made me so mad about this was like some of the guys made sense. Like Jeff Hardy came down and they were like, Hardy had that match in 2002 that pretty much established him as a single star. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. Cool. Yes. And then the Godwins came out. And it was like
just for being his friends backstage.
One of the Godwins was
and then but then they literally said on commentary like, these guys are great friends of Taker. They're good friends of Taker.
And that's it.
And I'm like, why do I care?
I'll tell you right now, Undertaker
Rikishi,
probably
they were like great friend.
Undertaker probably picked the people, if we're being honest.
Think so? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Undertaker like Booker T?
Maybe.
I don't see them getting along, Undertaker and Booker T.
I definitely don't think Taker liked Hardy. No way. Hardy did way too many drugs.
Yeah.
There's no way.
The funniest thing of all this was Kane showing up in his wrestling gear. Like, he thought it was a match or something.
Yes.
Like, he could have been in jeans, a collared shirt, and a mask, and it would have been fine.
If Kane was in a suit with a mask, that would be a perfect action figure.
A what?
That would have been hilarious.
A what, Justin? What'd you say?
If it was Kane in a suit, but with a mask, it'd be the perfect action figure.
Yeah.
Corporate mask.
I'd buy it. Corporate mask. But all those guys came out. They showed a little video package for Undertaker. Then
played to Metallica's his entrance.
Metallica.
So I guess they bought the rights to that one. So in 10 years down the line, we go back and watch the Boneyard match. They won't scrap it for music they own the rights to, like they do for every other pay-per-view when they don't lose the music rights.
Yeah, you're right. No, because that happens with a lot of them. I think a lot of the Limp Bizkit songs and all that too.
Every WCW theme ever.
Literally, all of them. But then they show the Undertaker video package. Then Vince McMahon's in the ring, and basically here's the Undertaker, and then Undertaker comes out, and they played like his theme on the little electrical thingies, and it was kind of hurt my ears a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a little loud.
I didn't like it.
Here's my thing though. It's like when they showed the Undertaker package, where did all of his friends go? They all just bailed.
COVID. You can't be. I mean, they were all in the ring together, but
it's like they weren't even at ringside, like looking at him.
They dipped.
Where did they go?
That's the worst.
Literally,
part
what was the point
of having them out? They didn't say anything.
What was the point of having them come out if they were just going to evacuate the ring for Taker to come down?
Yeah,
they should have had Taker come down and then them on the ramp. Then at that point.
On the ramp surrounding the ring in the Thunderdome, like in the front row there, like front row outside the barricade. But anyways, Taker comes out in full character. I didn't know what he was going to come out as.
It makes sense for him though to go out in character.
Yeah, it does. And then he cut a promo. They had a cool thing when he was at the post. He got lifted, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. a little lift for
I
him.
think it's also he's retiring the Undertaker because they're still gonna push Mark Calloway stuff.
I think that's
like
what they're
he's
gonna do.
he's still gonna go on podcasts. He's still gonna he might do WWE roundtable things like Table for Threes.
that would
and
actually
stuff
be really
like
good.
that.
He just did Hot Wings, so I wouldn't doubt it. Or Hot Ones, whatever.
Exactly.
Table
I
for
know
Three would be interesting.
they're retiring the Undertaker, but they're still pushing that money.
So does that honestly give me an annual Boneyard match at WrestleMania every year?
No, they're not doing that.
I'll get a new poster like that in the back every single year. I don't care. But Undertaker comes to the ring, cuts an Undertaker promo. I thought I would get emotional during it. I didn't, because he's my favorite wrestler of all time.
The Paul Bearer hologram was nice.
That was awesome. Yes, that was towards the end. The Paul Bearer hologram was really cool. But I was more.
How the hell did they not have Brother Love come out though? Because he was his first manager.
Richard, yeah, I know, Brother Love.
Like how was he not in the ring?
There's a bunch of guys. Maybe they couldn't. He could have been there, obviously, Brother Love, because he works backstage. But
he works backstage.
Yeah, he literally just could have came out. But I don't know. I got more emotional when the streak broke and when he lost to Roman.
Well, because you were there for the streak.
I'm wearing the shirt right now. Yeah. I was there for the streak, and when he lost to Roman too, because I honestly thought that was it. I was more emotional then.
God,
this actual final farewell.
This had a lot of parallels to the Roman goodbye too. It's like, because I had to wake up early as hell because I had an 8 a.m. class after that Mania, and I had to wake up at 5 a.m. for work this morning because after this show. So it's like, God, I love you, Undertaker, but please speed things along.
Yeah, it kept you up.
Again, Roman was supposed to be the final thing, but he even said in the documentary he was not happy with that match. And also Saudi Arabia money.
Honestly,
money.
I don't blame him. He's not the company. He's not the one who's booking the matches and all that stuff. He's just there.
I guess
he
sure.
can book himself.
He's just cashing those blood money checks.
He's cashing them all right, and he's buying a new horse or a new donkey every single time on his ranch. But
it was fine. It did its job. It was nice. We're gonna see
the Undertaker's speech was too short, and the entrance was too long.
I wish after he retired, the Undertaker character,
the Undertaker
he did say
entrance
something.
was also
yeah. And I just felt like another Undertaker promo from like 2007 or something.
It didn't feel like any finale or
this
anything.
This
like
definitely
that.
isn't the end, though. I don't think it's the end.
It's the end of him. He's not going to wrestle again.
I think it's the end of him being
done wrestling.
What I think it's going to be is him. It's the end of him being in the Undertaker character on TV. He might pop in, on Raw and SmackDown, 2 or 3 years from now.
General Manager Mark,
but not as the Undertaker. They'll refer to him as Undertaker.
They might just start calling him like the American Badass or something.
Yeah.
Is he going to take like Adam Pearce or something and be like the backstage guy?
We don't have GMs anymore.
Yeah, you're right. They should.
It's our WWE.
Wow, that was Survivor Series, and we do this at the end of every pay-per-view. I'll start. We do a rating out of 10. This is the worst pay-per-view of the COVID era for sure.
That's what I was thinking this morning. Like, since we started this whole
the worst one
shebang, because we started our first wrestling review was Extreme Rules, so it's like we've made some ground, and this was the worst.
Yeah, the pay-per-views have been good from in between before Survivor Series and then. Pay-per-views have been all right, but this one didn't hit. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm in the 3.5 to 4 range. Like that's just mediocre to average.
I got to see Undertaker, which gave it a point, and Roman and Drew gave it a couple points too.
That's what I'm saying. Roman, Drew gave me 2 points. Undertaker's 1.3 out of 10.
Then I'll do the half a point for Sasha and Asuka, and then another half a point for the Metallica song. There you go. That's how I got my 4. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10. A 10 out of 30, basically. You guys both agree.
Yeah.
10 out of 30 overall. Our worst grading by far.
I would never go back and watch any of this again, except
I was thinking about that.
Possibly the Roman Drew.
I was thinking about that.
I would maybe watch that again.
This has no rewatchability.
Because I love going back and watching old 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches. So I was thinking about that too. Like I would not go out of my way just to watch this at all.
This
Nope.
is a hard pass for me.
Especially the 5-on-5 matches were
They're usually my
probably the
favorite,
worst
too.
matches
Even-
of the night.
Even if
They
I
were
went
the
back and
worst ones of the night.
even if I went back and watched it with a few adult beverages in me, I would not enjoy this still.
Nope.
Nope.
Would I? And that does it for this episode of the Department Podcast. We reviewed Survivor Series. We gave our honest thoughts. Not everything's going to be all sunshine and butterflies and stuff. When it's bad, we tell the truth when it's bad. We don't sugarcoat anything here, but that does it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. If you have different opinions than us, please let us know. Comment on YouTube and all that stuff, and like and subscribe on there as well. Might as well, if you're already commenting something, like and subscribe. But also subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure you guys follow our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Department_pod. We have an NFL recap of week 11.
Yep, 11.
This is 11. This is week 11, so that's coming up really, really soon.
We'll probably be back for picks.
Yep, we'll do picks this week. We took a week off from picks, but week 12 picks will be coming out, and probably another wrestling recap. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next.